happily said, "Boo!" But the child just slept with no care, so he whispered for another to join the scare. Two little monsters under the bed shook their knees and quietly said, "Boo!" But the child kept snoring away, so they called for another to join their play. Three little monsters under the bed waved tiny hands and giggled and said, "Boo!" But the child just twitched without a peep, so they called for another to join the heap. Four little monsters under the bed bounced up once and happily said, "Boo!" But the child quietly sighed in the night, so they called for another, ready to fright. Five little monsters under the bed made silly faces and cheekily said, "Boo!" But the child just wiggled with a grin, so they called for another to join in the spin. Six little monsters under the bed clapped their hands and brightly said, "Boo!" And the child gave one little kick, so they called for another to join them quick. Seven little monsters under the bed knocked on the wood and boldly said, "Boo!" And the child gave a little snort, so they invited another for more fun in their court.